Yeah. Give me that shit. It shouldn't be.
But guys, I hope I'm not singer. That's the full government name. But Mava Kleba is who I'm going to be for you tonight. I'm going to be your host and your moderator here to take you through the listening session for the Dawn Project. All right, now we're going to get into it very, very soon. Now, I just want to congratulate my brother here. Some of us, we know one another. We've met at our last listening session. Some of us are meeting tonight for the first time, and we love how Hristo is able to always just curate these spaces where artists get to meet and make good art together. So without further ado, I'm just hoping, oh, do we have the cue back there to start the music? All right, all right, all right. Mr. Hristo, you want to come and say something before we give it a go?
Bangishayela amazandla I'm just playing. Y'all know I'm full of shit.
Nah, man. Well, then, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into the Dawn Project. Lyrics are on the document.
Money spent fast when you need it. It's like the devil wanna tempt you for a ticket. How you gonna be rich if you never risk it? I'm always dreaming. If you keeping me wishes, no pennies in the well. Only God is my witness, regardless of the L. It's only taking a minute, cause time could only tell. This ain't no Kit Kat bars, more like a prison cell. And now I'm on wax, they all see me. Remember way back, old girl was ghosting me. Gotta want money. Girls act strange, yeah, girls act funny. It's either duffel bags or I'd rather get nothing. Why these niggas hate me? You can do the same damn thing if you want it. You can never have nice things about niggas. Pray I never die by the trigger. Given that I'm high profile, I seen how niggas wanna have what's mine. I get it. You can never say it 2 times. I feel high. You just wanna carry my vibe by the minute. 10,000 hours, got only one wish, making money showers. 10,000 hours, got only one wish, making money showers. 10,000 hours. 10,000 hours.
Yeah. There's some places you should never go, faces you should never see, missions taken solo, a thought for every single deed. Looking through the photos, look to make more memories. Heart still froze though, even through my hardest seasons. I don't even think twice, I'm that nice, like Tico on the touchline. One-on-one in the lights, pity I made the wrong move. Gotta pay the highest price, cardiac injuries. Gotta put it on the ice, inspecting all the mysteries. They say the game is dirty, but they cannot take away my dreams. Wake up super early, so these niggas never sleep on me. Have my niggas sipping dirty, can I stand up straight, they leaning. Difference in perspective, got them thinking that nigga tweaking when he told them they can reach it. Put in work and don't be feeble, never stay inside your feelings. This is just a season, one day it's gonna rain. It's 10,000 hours before you step up on that stage. It's 10,000 hours before you step up on that stage. Too much time getting ready for the fall. Ain't nobody really focused on the soar. Park the bus, you ain't never gonna score. You ain't never putting points on the board.
10,000 hours, got only one wish, making money showers. 10,000 hours, got only one wish, making money showers.
Who's it? Right. Okay, ide yavuleka neyami. Alright.
Hello, you wanna use?
There we go. There we go. All right, guys, nami ngizama uvula le document la way cause nina mna nayo. Funny enough, kodwa yenziwe ndim. But yeah, that's it.
All right. So we're gonna get right into it. How we're gonna do it is I'll ask a question or two, and then I'll open it up to the audience for a question or two if time allows, because we'd also like to get home while time is still on our side, you know. So we'll definitely open up, have it be an open conversation tonight. All right. Today I made it a Hristo 27 day. I made sure that I was listening to the entire discography so we can know how did we get here. I started there by Loving the Dark and I moved all the way to the Dawn Project. I noticed there's a difference in the subject matter when you open the two EPs. In the first EP, the Dawn Project, the opener is The Code and the Prophecy. Uh, that is a man who is establishing himself and is talking about how, or is talking about the establishment, right? In 10,000 hours, you're opening up, or you and Alfredo, awesome collaboration, BT Dubs. You guys are opening up about the process it takes to achieve the greatness, leaning on the Malcolm Gladwell principle of 10,000 hours. What did you want us as the listeners to learn about your creative process and about you as a musician when you were creating the song?
Hey, let me buzo, guys. Buzo yago 3 talk kanolini le. But hey, man, look, when when we were in the process of making 10,000 hours, it was really an idea of excess and how really do we get to where we want to go, you know? And as the title makes mention of the 10,000 hours, me and Fuego been working together since high school, really, you know. And over the years, we've really just peeped how long it's taken us to only get to the skill level that we're at, and we haven't even reached our ceiling yet, you know. And it feels like we're at it forever, you know what I mean? The 10,000 hours trope, because then it feels like forever, and at the same time when we come across our peers and the people that we look up to, we're nowhere near a lot of the guys that we're working with, you know, and a lot of the guys that we look up to, you know. So it was really a masicenge nje yami yabo masipushe boys izawulunga at some point, you know.
I mean, I love that because a lot of us here are musicians, or if not musicians, artists in a right to another, but more so entrepreneurs or freelancers. We work for ourselves, we make our monies for ourselves. And so it's really hard because we look at these people we look up to and we don't realize how long and how much it takes to get to where they are, right? And this song is a song I think every artist should hear, or any person who's starting something should hear. It speaks to the psychological, spiritual, and emotional sacrifices that you've got to make to become great. Can you let us know some of the sacrifices that you had to go through to bring this project about, specifically with the Dawn Project? How did you challenge yourself mentally, spiritually, emotionally? What did you give up to get here?
Wow. Yo. I think and it's like, honestly, I think there's a lot of things that apendleleni uhamba uziyeka, you know, uhamba uchola ezinye, uhamba uziyeka ezinye, because you're just trying to figure things out, you know. It's part of the process, it's part of the 10,000 hours. And ikhona ingoma that is going to talk about enye yezinto ekwanyanzeleka, well, according to me anyway, ndiziyeke, you know. But amongst the many things is I've had to give up a lot of my time, you know. I've had to realign and, change your focus and know that, if this is what I'm gonna be doing, I can't half-ass this shit. It takes a lot of time. And I mean, you were there, dog. Umakatini, Dr. Ndutuzo Makatini, yes, Komba during Jazz Ensemble, telling us that you guys aren't practicing enough. And awuyiva wena lento ayithethayo because awulalangi izolo, you out here checking the songs every single hour and shit, but akude kuhlangane, and then you get tired, you carry on with life. But from that perspective and from that point, ndafika kwindawo whereby I understood what he was talking about when he's saying that you're not practicing enough. You're not applying yourself enough in order to get to a phase where you're good enough, just good enough, not even great, but and that has taken a lot of sacrifice, in terms of time. Ncama nechomi, yes, it's called nechomi. Hi Lazola, hi Lou, it's called nechomi, but we are kuzo, sunjaja fethu ndiyakuexplainela dog. But it be like that, there's a lot of things ozincamayo, and then enye into that I feel like is a significant thing endazibona kunyanzeleke ndiyincamile is the thing that we're going to talk about on track 3. So yeah.
All right. I want to open up. Is there any one question from the audience? Anyone with anything to say, anything about that one track, 10,000 hours? Anything, a reflection, a question? Yeah. I mean, we're musicians here. Nobody Mali, it's okay.
Kawukupela ox babs.
Right.
Okay, hi.
Hello.
Igama Ungazi, thank you for having us. My question around 10,000 hours is, because you mentioned how it was a realization that, hey, we've been doing this for a minute. Now, I want you to take us into the space that you entered after that realization. Was it a sense of, hey, we've come so far and I'm happy with what we've done so far? Or was it maybe a space of, all the time that we've put into this, I don't really see much that I've accomplished yet? Like you mentioned, for example, some of the peers that you work with and whatnot and their accomplishments and everything. So the realization of the 10,000 hours, was it a moment of accomplishment with what you've come from, your skill level? Or was it a moment of, hey, some of our peers are so much further than us? Just that space when you realized how long that you've put into this. Thank you.
Yeah, shout out, man. So I think when that thing snapped in my head, I think that was one of the very few times in my life where I experienced ego death. Really, I was on the verge of crashing out, because I was like, you know what, fuck this shit. I wanted to flip a table and all of that, But we are saying, I also at the same time, because I was judging, like, I couldn't need, but you sit there with that feeling, you sit there with that feeling of, again, not being good enough, and not being where you really would like to be, regardless of, how many dap-ups you get, how much and yeah, you appreciate it, but when it feels like there's something missing, because if I'm this good, why am I not up there? Type vibes, why bafana and these type vibes, and on the journey you learn.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I think it's about time we get into our second song, Woe's Innocence, featuring Offense.
Also, quick one, ndithanda nyhani le ngoma yabo, thanda nyhani.
We got ODD in this bitch one time.
feeling so lost. Little young nigga ain't checking his phone. Mad I ain't putting out work, no work, but a nigga ain't even been home. Skipped out on all these women won't ever put a young nigga on. They said leave him alone, go work on your flow, go rap about your hoes. I ain't been sleeping all night, tryna get a nigga bread with the cheese. I ain't been sleeping all night, chest tight, cause a young nigga tryna be wheezy. But I ain't right in a while, cause the fear in my mind got a young nigga bleeding. Check for my pulse 3-4 times, add an 808, get a young nigga breathing. I ain't been outside in a while, cause a young nigga broke, cause he jacking his steez. Still put my life on the line for these lines, 27 lines, get a nigga feeding. Still put the vibes to the vibe, just to lie to myself that it's only a season. Believe it. I been feeling so lost, little young nigga ain't checking his phone. Mad I ain't putting out work, no work, but a nigga ain't even been home. Skipped out on all these women won't ever put a young nigga on. They said leave him alone, go work on your flow, go rap about your hoes. I been moving so low, so long, young nigga ain't macking no more. Still breaking all my shots from top, got a nigga going 0 from 4. Hit the same line from 5, when you know it's do or die, we still won't fold. I won't lie, have my throat feel tired, but I know that we gon' be alright. Test after test, nigga, we alright. Rest of the checks and we run all night. First beat the press, lift your head, check your left, see a nigga run in, put them all on the flight. Niggas I admit say they still want to fight. They wasn't outside when we rode the night. Still can't make no one by the spite, but I guess it's all talk when we step the line. I been feeling so lost, little young nigga ain't checking his phone. Mad I ain't putting out work, no work, but a nigga ain't even been home. Skipped out on all these women won't ever put a young nigga on. They said leave him alone, go work on your flow, go rap about your hoes.
Shout out to my boy Offense, man, opening a beer bottle.
I swear I must have lost my mind on the times in this shit. Rocked out grinding so long that it's dust in this bitch. I cannot pretend I'm not fine, but I'm lit. Only way that I keep going outside is this drink. Outside is where the host be at. Outside is where the control left. Outside is where friends are gotta be at. I don't watch it ever gonna be there. You chose it for yourself, you gotta eat that. Being broke on a regular, I'm defeated. You know my name, I'm not MJ, but I'm obedient. I always dread asking for help. My mind Lionel is unkept. I'm telling you it's messy. I overthink, I definitely need help. But anyway, Gindo, I don't need no damn help. Last time I cried, my grandma was alive. Been a decade in a while, why the world so foul. Every bad thing I went through, I kept false. Like I thought 5 miles in a mole, that's however many miles. Everybody got a smile, not everybody gets a smile. My mama lessons always kept me on the ground. My daddy lessons made sure I kept firm. My grandma lessons said, "Honey boy, stay proud." She was crazy and a man that's out loud. Wish we had shed a beer before she did her last round. I swear I must have lost my mind on the times in this shit. Worked out grinding so long that it's dust in this bitch. I cannot pretend I'm not fine, but I'm lit. Only way that I keep going outside is this drink. Outside is where the host be at. Outside is where the control left. Outside is where friends are gotta be at. I don't watch it ever gonna be there. You chose it for yourself, you gotta eat that. Being broke on a regular, I'm defeated. You know my name, I'm not MJ, but I'm obedient. Beat it up.
Aware, aware, aware. That was Woe's Innocence. That was track 2. Woe's Innocence featuring Offense. Now, well, I think that's my favorite hook on the entire project. That's my favorite hook. But there's a definite sonic shift as we go from track one into track two. I can tell the music is pointing us towards the lyrics, towards the story. I want us to listen more in this track. Um, it's about the story of a man. If track one was about the process to becoming great, track two is about the sacrifices or the mindset while you're great. Um, the woes that come about out of it. Let me know, what are the conversations that are happening in studio around the creation of this project between you, your producer? The music is too good, it wants to play. between, between you and Offense and your producers and engineers, what brought about this particular message?
Yeah, fair too. First of all, shout out to Jedi Odd, man. Producer here to a lot of us in this venue. Where now? Shout out to Jedi Odd, man. But also, offense is my homie lives in Uhlale Tembisa, JHB, and really, this song actually came about because on my birthday, I think, Amachita was sending me beats. Um, Jedi sent like a 30 pack, bro. I ain't never gotten that many beats at the same time. He just sent like 30 beats, and no local, we were just sifting through them. And then later on that evening, aphinde ndaziminca futhi ndayimamela le instrumental, specifically this one. And I had been in conversation with the offense a few minutes earlier, and the moment I heard it in Tlelindodwa, I called them back again. I was like, "Dog, I'm sending you something. Go to the studio now." It's like, "Boy, ngiyapuza, I'm getting drunk. Who's it?" you know. Hence, you hear the beer cap opening at the beginning of his part. He was still drinking. And I mean, fair is because I was shit high. I won't lie, you know. But whilst we were having that conversation, trying to get him to the studio, he was talking about how upset he was about his homie who had just gotten stabbed. And again, it came back to, why the fuck are we still here? Like, you know those questions when niggas are not sober, you know? And it's that type of inebriated where you on some, "Yeah, I love you, my dog," and then the homie's like, "I love you too, bro." It was that type of conversation, and as Amanika tend to do, we end up talking about music again, and the sonic shift specifically was really to help us ramp into Dawn Project, you know, um, because this is what the Dawn Project sounds like in theory, that is. And it's one of that Mgoa track, but it felt like the last bit of Mgoa because it came to a period, yeah, ego death, like when I felt like absolute shit about everything, you know. But hence, the hook goes, "I've been feeling so lost, so low. Young nigga ain't checking his phone. Udikwa into yonke." Yeah, bro. It was that moment where I felt like, what, fuck all of this. But also it was in conjunction, or it was with the homie this time, because business go so by that point. And fortunately enough, this is what we came out with, and it's also one of my favorite songs on the EP, which is a crazy statement because ndithanda yonke le EP. Andifuna uxoka guys, unyaka wonke nina niva okokuqala, I'm hearing it at least for the 1,000th time because I love it like that. But that's where we at.
Yeah, man, thank you for that. And with all of that being said, what was the easiest and what was the most challenging part of creating this particular track?
It was staying focused. I won't lie. It was
Easiest or most challenging?
That's the most challenging. It was staying focused because now I'm on the in about the way that I'm feeling and the things that I'm thinking, and I don't want to communicate with myself. I don't want to express that, and Yagoa for real. So I'm half-heartedly writing the whole track. How I mean, every artist here knows once you get your rhythm, you know, you kind of get stuck there. So ndamandelwa nayo la flow yabo cause ingoma nayo ithi boom boom. Nenhloko yami nayo ithi boom ndikhathi welo xesha, and you know, everything was just kind of like stars aligning in a sense, you know, and kind of being guided um open up, of which really is the main theme of the whole project. It's opening up to the world, but also simultaneously dealing with what I had been struggling with during Love in the Dark. You know, hence the dawn. So dawn comes after dark. You know, I'm not gonna tell you what comes after dawn. Maybe you'll find out by the end of the session. But yeah, man, that's where we at.
Nice, nice. So let's have one or two questions from the audience. Is there anything anyone would like to ask or comment on, or any feeling you just want to express right now? Here we go. Here we go. I look, you keep your mic here.
Okay,
Here for
okay.
you.
Bless, bro.
Shout out.
Molweni. I just want to say, first of all, that I think it's a blessing to be musically gifted, and you showcasing your skills right now is it's magical, bro. Thank you. I think 2 tracks in already, you've managed to captivate your audience, and you know, very strong 2 tracks, bro. You are showcasing your musical thought and process, and I think from that way of looking at it, you know, it makes you a different and a better musician, bro. It's more than just rap. You know, there's a musical aspect that's missing from a lot of music, and you're showing it. So hats off, the audience is captivated.
Shout out, bro. I appreciate it, man. I genuinely appreciate it.
Super awesome. Is there anyone else? Because that was super great. Any other reflection or any other question? I mean, like you said, it's a great 2 openers. Anything anyone would like to add or say? I mean, you don't have to. There we go. Here we go.
I'm not gonna be long, but I've known Hristo for not so long, and I didn't know that he had this stuff in the vault. I was very, very, very excited to come and see and hear what's coming. So yeah, good. Just like Unkulu was saying.
Thank you, gents. Thank you. Chiller then. He's a friend from Tembisa. Yeah. Yeah. No, thank you, gents, for that. Thank you. Yeah, those are great 2 opening tracks. I think let's get into song number 3 and let's keep the night going on. This one is called Again, and I'll tell you all the collaborators. There's a whole bunch of collaborators here. I'm gonna let you listen. I'm sure you'll recognize a couple of voices, and then we'll talk about who they are after we listen to this track. This is song 3, Again.
Time and time again, I keep asking you what's going on. You keep acting like you got it all together. Oh, I need you to call me whenever something's going wrong. I won't know unless you talk it all. You get it. Oh, I'm human, I can't do it all. I gotta get myself in a better situation. Now, getting myself and my bag. Don't get mad. I used to be gentle, but I figured you out. Not that far to remember when you curse me aloud. I'm always frank about my thoughts. Don't ever be no push around. It's been injected from the stars. I bear the scratches and the wounds. Last one is renowned. Every day around the sun. Did you know I make what I up on your days. I'm the flow up on the waves. I make it ease when it rains. I take a beat to the base. I save when I'm brave. Make it rain, make it rain, make it rain, make it rain.
Yeah, guess in the end I'm only falling and it's clear your past transgressions ain't been lifted cause your spirit is not feeding me. I envision every moment that we shared is kinda twisted. I ain't missing you now. Would you believe an angel had me on a chokehold? Guess you can breathe freely knowing I'm a lost soul. Giving a lot of lost hope. Crossroads ended what we started on the long rope. And ain't no telling if I hate this love shit. It's like losing in a pink slip. Car dips, some like losing in a race. By a time slit, I hate what I started. You always get what you wanted. I never knew I was part of your past. Thinking
Yeah.
of the present,
Why
I'm
is
better
it me
without
who got
you.
blood on his hands? I'm just trying to comprehend what goes on in my head. The game's so treacherous, a dark exodus, black excellence. Boy, that ain't shit if you're not the executive. I stay grinding, my pen shining, my pockets down bad. They can only pay homage. I gain mileage, 10,000 hours, but who's counting? I can't wait till I need an accountant.
Check, check, check.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Welcome back, my G. Thought you'd left us.
Hey, Babs.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was track number 3. That was Again. And there's a whole list of collaborators here, and it's a whole bunch of familiar names, actually. We've got Kenzo, we've got Melody, we've got Siren, and El Fuego. 4 different collaborators on this one track. And I noticed that you've got a community of collaborators that you call on every time. Every time I hear a project, I know Melody's gonna be there, and I'm living for it. She's my favorite. Why these particular collaborators? What is it that they add to a Hristo project? I'm behind.
All right, check. All right, this mic's tweaking, man. But this dude was there. Also, guys, just quick heads up. Umava is my musical director, by the way. Um, you don't hear any project that hasn't passed by Mava's ears and has gotten Mava's opinion on it. So when we were making this track, I called the first person I called actually was Section. Um, he's our engineer from the Six. Um, and I told the section that the Elafetu we're gonna have a songwriting camp. So Kenzo just sent me a pack. So tomorrow, legends praz. Yabo section was like Balenzo Ben corner. And when I put out the APB, everyone, funny enough, was like Yeland corner for you too, if so legends in corner, which never happens. And I think we had like 10 people at that songwriting camp. It was like 10 to 12 of us. And mna ndandizixelela uba yantoni ndofika ndirephe bhala ingoma beyi-one and then be-grand, you know. But when everybody was there together, you know, the beat was playing, I was like, yantoni man, khe ndihlale phansi man. And then we got that first verse from Melody. Melody was the first to finish, by the way. No Diddy. Yeah, now yeah. So Melody was the first to finish, and Dangena into the writing room, and she was just doing a couple runs. Siren was still writing. Sasuko Chai no Fuego, Sazminga ke phofu. But sathi xa singena egumbini, and you know, Mel had been doing some runs and been pre-recording, you know, some backings and stuff. And when I heard her backing vocals, I was like, hold on, I got some. And then I just wrote, like, the words just fell out of the pen, bro. Literally, you know. Because I felt like, you know what? Life is unfair, you know, but we made this choice ourselves, you know. And what I was talking about in 10,000 Hours, is, you know, if you peep the lyrics, yabona uba kuse ndiyagowa phaa because and ndiphikisana ne-way apha newenge, on some what do you mean, dog? What do you mean you want all of this? What do you mean you are demanding all of this time, all of this effort? Because ndingumrepa ndilinika ngoku 365 yabo, and in essence I kind of have to let her go, because again, ndiyakhonjwa, hence I open with why is it me who got blood on his hands. Bazoyicacisa ke uluno lazola because bakla congress ndiqhela uyingena when I'm having relationship problems or ngi-stuck somewhere.
Collaboration. And this EP so far, and particularly this track, has explored so many different musical styles. It's rooted in hip hop, it's rooted in rap, but you explore soul and R&B and so many and jazz elements in there. How did you go about picking the different sounds, or was it a natural process of whatever presented itself to you, you surrendered to, and what would happen?
um so I tend to first draft a concept. What do I want to talk about? What am I thinking in that specific time? So whatever I'm thinking, ndiyifake isitampu mna ngala mzuzu, I'm like, this change. This sounds like an amazing concept. We keeping this. As to how I execute the concept then depends on who I call first. Sometimes I'm gonna call Fuego first, sometimes I'm gonna call Section first, sometimes I'm gonna call Jedi first. And funny enough, all three of them are on this project. But when then it comes to, selecting the starting 11, it's a matter of what which beat basically kind of fits into the whole story. So we build the story before we even write for it. And every single time I come across a new beat, someone sends something, I scour through all of the beats. I'm not really looking for what's hot because I never get sent cold shit, by the way. So I always struggle to pick this and that because I'm looking for a specific something, you know. So if ungumdu ofundayo incwadi like novels and shit, you know what your taste is. Basically, you know that I feel like a little, as a romance is or you feel like an autobiography today, but you wanna read an autobiography, a politician specifically, so it's really, that's basically my process of selecting what goes into the concept and how that instrumental is going to fit into the concept, so that's